Hello, this is Jean Marie Ward for Buzzy Magazine. With me today is John St. John, voice actor. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And could you give our viewers an idea of how did you get into voice acting?
Well, my voice acting career actually started with a radio career first, where I was not only a DJ, but then a wacky morning character. You know, I did all the character voices for morning shows all over the country. And then in, I guess it was 1995, while I was a production director at a radio station in San Diego, I happened to meet by chance Lani Minella, who's one of the top casting directors for video games. She has a company called Audio Gods. And she was casting for a game called Duke Nukem, and I believe that was the first audition I ever did. She was in my studio to record a commercial project I was producing and asked me, when I started showing off doing silly voices, if I was interested in doing voice acting. There was this game Duke Nukem coming out. Would I be interested in auditioning for it? And that's pretty much where it started, right there, just by a chance meeting with Lani.
Do you play video games?
Very rarely. Of course, anytime a game I'm on comes out, I'll spend, you know, a few hours playing through it just to see if my performance is any good. I don't mean my gamer skills, I mean my acting in the game. But other than that, not really. My job is a voice actor. I don't have a lot of time for gaming because I have kids who play those games, and I'm busy raising them for the most part.
So how do you prepare? You said you look at the game, or do you look at your character? Do you have a full script that you read through?
I know that a lot of voice actors like to have the script in advance. I don't. I work a little bit differently. I usually do see the artwork, and I don't actually like to see the artwork before a session either. And let me explain the reason for that is that the way my brain works, if I see a character picture and a description, then I've made up a voice in my head, and sometimes that voice gets stuck. And when I end up in the recording studio with the director, they may direct me in a totally different way than that voice that's stuck in my head, and it can be a bit of a stumbling block to get past that voice I've already created for the character. So for me, it's easier to show up and pretty much cold read the script and have the director tell me on the spot, you know, what the texture of the voice is, what the age, what kind of dialect, get it all there on the spot and dial in the voice right in front of the director, and then just stay in character through the session.
You've been doing voices, though, a long time, even before you were doing video games. Didn't you sort of grow up listening to Looney Tunes and Mel Blanc?
Oh, yeah, Mel Blanc, the master. He inspired me. Saturday morning cartoons in the 1970s. But way back when I was a kid.
Yeah,
in the late 60s and early 70s, watching cartoons was huge for me every Saturday morning, as every kid did. And imitating those voices on the cartoons is really what let me know that I had some kind of skills, because I had not necessarily the voice for it, but I had an ear for it. If you can imitate just a little bit the cadence and the style of the voice, then you've got something, and I guess it just grew from there.
So you don't only do video games, though. You voice act in commercials and a bunch of other things. Oh,
lots of things, yeah. There are infomercials and commercials, message on hold, Coinstar machines and display kiosks. I've done theme park character voices for Legoland, California, and Dollywood in Tennessee. They have a ride at Dollywood called the Mystery Mine Ride that has an audio animatronic buzzard that you see 4 or 5 times while you're waiting in line to get on this ride, and I'm the voice of that buzzard.
Does it have dialogue?
Oh, it does. Oh, yeah. His name is Buzz, and he talks with a creepy Tennessee accent, and he sings little songs along the way. It's an interesting character.
Oh, yeah. All sorts of things. You don't think of that, you know, you don't think of the breadth or the scope that an actor can go through in terms of roles, and, you know, that even, say, doing a bank shoot, you know, a commercial for a bank could give you a role.
Exactly.
Do you still do impersonations of various people? Or?
I do. In fact, from time to time I'll get casting calls that say, we're looking for somebody who is like a Sam Elliott type voice. And you know Sam Elliott from Coors the Banquet Beer and Dodge Ram Tough Trucks. Well, he's like the quintessential cowboy voice. So they were looking for something like that. So I auditioned for this Ford dealer in Oklahoma City called Seth Wadley Ford, and I spoke in my voice that's kind of like Sam Elliott's, and I ended up landing, work for about a year for a whole dealership chain. And then some burger chain had heard those commercials and wanted that same voice. And so, imitating other announcers has gotten me quite a bit of work, too. I do imitations of, like, Don Pardo from Saturday Night Live, and Gary Owens, and even Patrick Stewart, who does a lot of voiceover. Imitating him, I get work being kind of a Patrick Stewart sound-alike.
And he's doing voiceovers now, too, so he's taking work away from you.
That's okay, though, because I really like Patrick Stewart a lot. He is one of those actors who will poke fun at himself. If you ever watch Family Guy, for instance, Stewie brings the cast of Star Trek The Next Generation through his time machine, or he builds a transporter device or something, and the whole cast just plays it up like it's silly and ridiculous, and they obviously have a good time doing it. And Patrick Stewart lends his voice to all kinds of silly projects. And I admire him for that.
Yeah, it is always good when an actor doesn't take themselves too seriously.
Exactly.
What are you working on now?
Well, a number of video games that, unfortunately, with video games today, there's a lot of secrecy involved. I have to sign non-disclosure agreements. But I believe I'm allowed to talk about Neverwinter, which I'm currently recording. When I return home to San Diego, I'll be recording that again for a pickup session where they've changed some dialogue. Other games that, Guild Wars 2, I've just done some more downloadable content for them. And a lot of people ask me about Duke Nukem. Is there ever going to be another Duke Nukem game? Am I working on that? And I'm putting it out there so you know. I don't know anything about Duke Nukem until probably 2 months before the game's released, if they are working on it, because they don't need the voiceover until
the very last.
It's almost completed. So I'm never told anything until the game's almost ready for release.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
If you were to advise your younger self about voice acting, what would you tell yourself?
Work harder sooner. Take it more seriously in the beginning. I probably could have made a bigger dent in this industry years earlier had I really taken it more seriously, and had I not felt so loyal to radio. I did enjoy my radio career, but the radio corporations were not good to me. They had no loyalty to me where I felt loyal to them. If I'd gotten out of radio and done my own thing earlier, I'd probably be further ahead in the voice acting game at this point. So I would tell my younger John St. John self, get out of radio.
And what would you tell people who've never been in radio and want to get into voice acting?
Go for it. If it's your dream, go for it. But don't quit your day job. It takes a while to build up a client base where you can really make a living doing it. But if you're passionate about it, that's what you have to do. Don't have a plan B. Just go for it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you from Buzzing Magazine.